Hey YouTube, how's it going? James here. This video is a little review of these Oakley Holbrook metal shades. I never really, bought into spending a whole lot of money on, something that, you just wear on your head like this. I thought, well, it's too expensive. I'm just going to go to the dollar store and I'm going to buy, the $5 El Cheapo, $20 cheap glasses, whatever, right? And honestly, when you spend that little bit of money on stuff, you don't respect it as much as you probably should, right? You want these things to, block out the bright rays of sunlight. And, for $20, you're not going to get polarized glasses. They're going to be, really cheap, right? So you think, well, if you spend a lot of money on something, you don't necessarily get any better quality. Well, I think you might. I can't, I'm not going to sit here and try to prove it to you. I can't, I'm not going to do scientific experiments and, try to break the lens or something and scratch it, But I am horrible for scratching lenses. And these ones here, they got a few little tiny scratches, but so far, they're pretty good. And that might be because I spent pretty much $300 on them, So I'm a little bit fussy with them. I treat them like they're worth $300 because they are. They're polarized. I picked them out. They're the ones that I like the best. I don't know. Hey, ah, maybe they suit me, maybe they don't. I don't know. I like them though. That's all there is to it. So, pros and cons. Well, these are metal. I don't know. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? They're on a plastic frame. So when I first got them, they fit, up here from this, they fit nicely. But back here, they didn't fit as well. Since they were metal, I was able to flex them into position. And they fit great. I like it. Another thing being that they're metal, I noticed once when I had them in my vehicle, I went to put them on and they were a little bit warm. They absorbed heat quite readily and it was noticeable. But other than that, another thing I kind of don't like about them is maybe it's just because my head is so narrow and they're a little bit wider. I don't know. But you get a lot of light coming in from behind and it causes like glaring on the inside. So no matter what, you pretty much always have the light from behind you glaring in on the inside, which is unfortunate. But maybe you have a wider head than me. These will be perfect. You'll have some meat right here, and it'll block it, right? Maybe your head will be like this. You'll be looking cool. Sounds like a good deal. $300. Do I feel bad about that? Oddly enough, once I spend money on something, I don't really care. I just, when I'm driving down the highway and it's really sunny out and I put these on, they are worth it. Totally, 100%, guaranteed. I don't look like a total goof with them on, so that's not horrible either. What is my most favorite thing about them? Well, they're not fake Oakleys. That's nice. I bought them from an Oakley store, so they better not be fake. So you got a little bit of ritzy kind of, ooh. These aren't just your regular, maybe you feel a little bit more flashy with them on. I don't know. You can't quite, you don't got any bragging rights when you go to the El Cheapo store and you buy the cheapest things you can get just because you're cheap, right? So, when you have these on, you don't have to say anything. Anyone can just look, they see the Oakley thing there and they go, there's an idiot. That guy can sure blow his money like a like a fool. Um, I don't know what people think. I don't. I'm not really that self-conscious to run through all the scenarios, but in the end, uh, these actually achieved my goal. I have had these for quite some time, over half a year now, and so far, even with the minor little scratches on them and stuff, I like them a lot. I treat them very well. Maybe, you know, the more scratches they get, the less dedicated I am. But, maybe after this video it'll inspire me to really treat them as much as their worth would dictate, right? Um, like, let's take this for example. It's a Nintendo 3DS. I don't know how much I paid for it. It was something like, you know, $300 or $400 or something, I think, right? I don't go out of my way to, like, I'm not abusing it, but I don't go out of my way to baby it, right? Like, I'll throw it in my backpack. If it falls off my bed and hits the vise, I think I've dropped this thing probably like 20 times already. No damage whatsoever. That's pretty cool. These, on the other hand, I gotta baby them because they're fragile. I actually lost my truck in a flood. I was down by the river and the water started to rise, and before anyone knew it, we were totally surrounded by this overflowing river. The water rose like 12 or 13 feet in a matter of hours. And my pickup truck was completely submerged underwater. We had to get a rescue boat to come and get us out of there. 5 hours later. So that was, cold and wet, and I forgot them in my truck. I was thinking about it after. I'm like, oh no, my $300 sunglasses. I would have went back for them, as my vehicle was getting submerged under a overflowing river. But I didn't. They were in my truck. My truck was a complete write-off by the time the water went down and it was pulled out and all that. But I had these sitting in my headrest, or in the visor, just in between the visor and the roof. Just kind of tucked up in there. And that's when they got their first scratch. When I was retrieving them, there must have been just a fine sand and grit and whatever, and somehow it was on my fingers, or when I put them in my pocket or something, there was just that sand. My truck was pretty much almost half full of sand, so they survived. No damage except for a few little scratches that I probably caused on my own. I actually did kind of notice they almost seemed like they got like a little bit of like a sand blasting or something, like as the water is swirling around in there and colliding on the lenses. There was a little bit, tiny bit of distortion. But maybe that can polish out. Maybe there's some sort of lens cleaner I haven't found yet that can make all these scratches just disappear. Who knows? Would I recommend you go buy these glasses? Well, don't be a copycat. Go get your own. Go pick out your own. They got like a million different pairs. These are actually pretty much the cheapest they had. Like, holy smokes. So, I've still been a little bit of a cheapskate, but, they had a lot cheaper ones. They had like $200 ones, right? None of them, they all look tacky, and I'm not a big fan of Oakley's, but, when I was just looking around, these happened to catch my eye, so. And now, they help protect my eyes from the harmful rays of the sun. It's going to make it so when I'm like 90 years old, maybe I could see a little bit better than, some of my other peers that didn't wear sunglasses. I actually know a guy. Now, you know, everyone's a little bit self-conscious. You look in the mirror and you see how you age, right? Well, I know a guy, he always wears sunglasses. Always. And usually when it comes to vision, you know, I think everyone has basically the same, you know, if you need glasses, obviously your vision isn't perfect, right? But I don't need glasses other than these. So when it comes to actually having any noticeable difference, like this guy here, I had my camera, he could spot a bird in a tree at over 60x zoom. I had to zoom my camera in over 60x to actually see this bird that he was pointing out. I couldn't see it. This guy wears sunglasses like religiously. He also doesn't have, you know, like around my eyes, you know, squinty lines and, you know, aging around here and stuff. I'm gonna be 32 in like a week maybe, and yeah, you know, I'm seeing a little bit of the sun damage, you know, beating down on my cheekbones and stuff, right? So if I wear these, I actually believe that it will reduce me having to, or reduce my tendency to squint. That will reduce aging, you know, on the side of my eyes. It's going to block the sun rays from hitting, you know, like when you're standing vertically and the sun's coming down, it's going to hit the most direct angle and it's going to do the most damage wherever the most direct angle is, right? So it's going to want to hit like this. It's in your eye and the sun coming down. Just so happens that the top of your cheekbone is, it's a pretty good place to get blasted with that UV. The UVA and the UVB. So, you know, maybe these will make you look younger. If, you know, you get them, you spend the money on them, you take care of them, you baby them, you wear them, maybe you feel good wearing, you know, something you picked out yourself. Who knows, right? My review is 2 thumbs up. Hey. I don't know. I never watched the Fawns or any of that stuff, but I think that's what that's from. So I'll have to give credit where credit's due, you know. Hey, Fawns. I don't know if he wore sunglasses. Maybe he did. That'd be cool. I don't know how, but hey. Thanks for watching. Just to recap quickly, I gave these 2 thumbs up. I like them. I would recommend you go and find your own perfect pair of glasses because it's worth it. It really is. So thank you once again for watching. I'm really considering some sort of prize system or you know, just a return system for people taking the time to watch my nonsense. You know, thanks. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care.